Good morning. Welcome to P&B Sports Show. I am Arakotom. On today's show, we are going to be discussing the Champions League and Europa. So today we are going to have two football analysts, which are the principal team, Mr. Wisdom and Walter, all the way from Lagos. But before then, we are going to go on a short break. So grab your popcorn and sit tight. Welcome back to P&B Sports Show. On today's show, we are going to have the principal team, Mr. Wisdom, who is a sports analyst and a football analyst, and we are going to have Mr. Walter, all the way from Lagos, and we are going to be dissecting the Champions League in the past 1 week and the Europa Cup. So Mr. Wisdom, And Mr. Walter, how are you people doing?
Yeah, I'm doing very well today. My club qualified to the quarterfinals of the European Cup Saturday night.
Manchester United fan.
Yeah, we all enjoy. Nice to be on the show. Yeah, it is a thrilling one. We saw United yesterday. No one expected that kind of performance over their selection. And then, yeah, for the Champions League, so many neutral match and everything. So we can't wait to get our teeth into all the conversation.
Okay. Talking about the Champions League, Mr. Wisdom, I want to find out, what do you think about the match between Real Madrid and Atletico? You know, in that match, there were a lot of intricacies and a lot of things happened. So I'm curious as to your own opinion on what you saw in the match.
Well, first of all, in terms of the action and the drama, would say the match gave us everything that we wanted to see. Or apart from goals, right? Because we expected flurry of goals in that one, but that was the only disappointment. But in terms of the action, in terms of the attacking play, in terms of the controversies, in a game of that magnitude, you would never expect it to go smoothly 100%. So I think the game gave us everything we hoped for. In terms of the performances as well, it was a very good performance from both teams. Look at Real Madrid doing all of the attacking, Atletico Madrid sitting back and doing their counter attacks. They know how to do it best, having almost 8 to 9 shots compared to Real Madrid's 3. It shows you that despite Real Madrid having all of the possession, Atletico Madrid, came out to do what matters most. That's about scoring goals. And at early as 27 seconds, they opened the scoring. It showed the level of it shows you how intentional they were. Coming in like losing the first leg at the Bernabeu. So it was a very good game, honestly. Then the highlight of the game was when it got to the penalty kick out where Julian Alvarez, his penalty kick was cancelled due to the fact that he had a double touch, an unintentional double touch on the ball. In fact, UEFA had to release a statement to address that case, saying that they would communicate with FIFA and IFAB to determine if the rules should be changed for situations like that, because obviously anyone who comes across that clip within that Julian Alvarez did not deliberately touch that ball twice. He almost kind of slipped, right? So it was a game that encompassed everything, but at the end of the day, Real Madrid was still Real Madrid. They just know how to escape tough situations like that, either with a stroke of luck or a moment of magic or something brilliant comes up. But at the end of the day, Real Madrid are always Real Madrid. So it was a good game in general. It was a good game. One for the neutral was a very enjoyable one if you were a neutral, and then if you're a Real Madrid fan, it was a super game.
Yes. So, Mr. Walter, I want to get your opinion. Talking about the penalty by Alvarez, which was cancelled. Do you think it is a rule that FIFA need to look into?
The rule is wrong. The rule says that if a player, one player of a player, if a player is the ball twice, it should be cancelled. Not wrong. I think the rule is wrong. Because for me, on that situation, the penalty has been a mistake of that of Alvarez, because the school was not intentional. So I thought the penalty could have been taken, and then I come out talking, they'll talk to FIFA and they'll talk to our team. They should revisit the rule and they can make it more flexible and better. Yeah, I think the rule is out, and it should be taken because, it was not a sport, it was a team, and you have to wear the consequence.
Okay, but some fans are saying that FIFA, that they were being biased concerning what was being said, like concerning the penalty that was cancelled. So I want to understand, do you think that they were being biased?
No, they were not being biased. I have the article
around the law. I read the law and where it is clearly stated, even before this was not the first time when the president that corrected of that. No, not the first time it happened. We've seen it in the Premier League, we've seen it in Ireland, in the Premier League. So it's all of the if you talk about how the Christian clarity is going to be going on. This is going not isolated, and even the security about the no argument about the no bias, just both sides are emotional, and because the sentiment are when you get the analysis, so there's nothing like bias, there is the room is the room. So now the question is, the other party, in the second lecture about, from the video data about that, yes, it's very minimum, but the more is the more, so I don't think there's any bias here.
Okay. So thank you. Mr. Wisdom, we had PSG and we had Liverpool's match. So I'm surprised, Liverpool took an exit which surprised me. So I want to know, what do you think about Liverpool's exit and what does it mean for the club as a whole?
Well, for Liverpool, their case is the case of no be first cup police, the win case. That is exactly topping the UEFA Champions League table. We all thought that, oh, come on, this Liverpool team is on fire. They are going to go all the way and clear everyone. Yeah, in fact, I also expected, the same thing from Liverpool, but only for them to come across the PSG side who is unbeaten in the league, and then you look at how attacking they've been, all their players, especially that front three. So it was a shock for Arne Slot. No disrespect to him, but before coming to Liverpool, he was coaching in the Dutch league, and the quality of opposition is fixed. In fact, I think he alluded to it. He said it with his mouth. That no disrespect to Manchester City and Arsenal, they've not faced any big team per se. And in fact, the Manchester City and Arsenal which he faced, Man City is struggling. This is not the prime Man City that Pep created, because obviously if it was, Liverpool would have been given a run for their money. But PSG came into that game very good. In fact, in the first leg, you saw how dominant PSG were. Yeah. Liverpool could do nothing, absolutely nothing. And then just with a stroke of luck, at the Elliott in the 9 minutes of the game, put the ball into the back of the net. It was a very painful one for PSG. And then coming into the second leg, PSG should have also won that game in normal time. That game had no business heading into extra time at all, but they were just wasteful. Same thing that killed them in the first leg, almost killed them in the second leg, because they were wasteful. Ousmane Dembele had opportunities, not just him, Bakola as well. And everything. Liverpool was swallowed up, right? So at the end of the day, it shows that for Liverpool at this stage of the season, it was more like a reality check on them, right? Because everyone thought, hey, Liverpool is the almighty deal. And I don't know if this is really going to affect them this weekend, because they will be facing Newcastle and the EFL Cup final. As the Carabao Cup final, they will be facing Newcastle. So I don't know if this is going to play into their psychology, because this is a very crucial week for them. Now imagine Liverpool being on course for the treble. That's talking about the Premier League, the Champions League, and then the Carabao Cup. They've been knocked out of the FA Cup, so that one is out of the way. But imagine Liverpool chasing 3 trophies, and then all of a sudden they get knocked out of 2. It's going to be a huge blow for them. Now they're out of the Champions League. You have the Premier League and the EFL Cup to fight for. If peradventure Newcastle was to do something incredible and knock Liverpool or defeat Liverpool in that final, it means that you have just the Premier League to play for, and it's going to be a huge blow, a huge dent on their impressive season. So one that has huge ramifications. But hey, we can't take anything away from PSG. PSG were absolutely brilliant. They deserved to win that game over the first leg and the second leg.
Okay, so down to Mr. Walter, looking at Mr. Wisdom's analysis, he said something. He said that Dembele missed some chances, but I want to understand, You know, with Mbappe being in PSG before, I think now we are seeing a different Dembele. We are seeing a Dembele that is showing up. So I want to understand, is it that Mbappe, when he was in the club, he was taking all the highlights or taking the shine, and that is why Dembele has decided to step up?
First of all, I think this is a very, very good question. This is very something people are not talking about. I think when yes, one time you have Mbappe, Messi, and Neymar, and I was looking at that team, and it was more like, okay, after the guys, if they are not doing something, they are gone. So they are depending on those brilliant or those skilled guys up front. And it was a good story. Even last season when Mbappe and Neymar and Messi the Euro that day, they were still relying on Mbappe, which means the day Mbappe does not perform, the team does not perform. The day Mbappe is injured, the team is down. So what the Serie has done, the run of the very good job is coming. Okay, now Mbappe will work, Mbappe will work, Messi will work, so let's do a thing. Let's do it. How about you? Yeah. No one player was the mission that happened with him. Dembele, like you said, but we know the Dembele has been quality. Now, the step up will tell us that the result of the fact that, okay, I am now the most senior player, I am the most experienced player in this team, they are acting lineup for sure. I need to take the responsibility, I need to do more. And now it's not just Dembele. The whole team. The goalkeeper is phenomenal, the defense line amazing, the midfield spectacular, the whole attack. It's not marvelous about Australia and Bracola and those when they got in the second half. Everybody, they are playing like the team now. There is no master player, there is no one to tell you, but everybody is performing at a good level. And I think that the result of, no, we don't have this one star that we are relying on. We don't have this one player that will stay in the top row when we trouble. So I think that's what impacted them.
But I want to find out, about Liverpool and Salah. Him losing this opportunity to win this cup. I want to understand something. Do you think it will affect his chances of winning the Ballon d'Or?
It's certainly goes. Except neither of Barcelona, or Real Madrid as a champion, then yes, I will be in the conversation with you. But Barcelona or Real Madrid to win champion, those two teams are candidates. Barcelona has Rafinha, who is on another level this season. Real Madrid has Rafinha, Vinicius, who are on world-class level. So I think if either of those two teams win the Champions League, then that will be Salah's chances of winning the Ballon d'Or gone. Like I said, like I always repeat, the passion for me is being the best player in Europe this season. But in the end, Liverpool went out in the round of 16 of the Champions League, and that will count to this season.
Okay, but as a fan, who do you prefer to win the Ballon d'Or?
Salah this year. Salah is also doing amazingly well. So for me,
Okay, so Mr. Wisdom, over to you. What do you think about Salah's chances of winning the Ballon d'Or with this loss, this devastating loss? Mr. Wisdom, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. The thing is this, about the Champions League and, this Ballon d'Or. Obviously, Mo Salah's chances of winning the Ballon d'Or has dropped drastically. But I think we look at it from this angle, not just Mo Salah. Walter said something which I got me intrigued. If Real Madrid or Barcelona doesn't win the Champions League, the Ballon d'Or becomes wide open. But then it becomes more difficult if, for instance, Real Madrid was to win the Champions League and Barcelona was to win the La Liga. Who would they give? Because if you were to say, if Real Madrid wins the Champions League, then Vinicius Junior is to win the Ballon d'Or, people will now start questioning, is the Champions League the criteria for the Ballon d'Or? And then if Rafinha was to win the league with Barcelona, would people say, if you were to give them, that's Rafinha the Ballon d'Or when if Barcelona win the league, would you say winning the league is the criteria for the Ballon d'Or? And if it was the other way around, Barcelona winning the Champions League and Real Madrid winning the league, the conversation. So it is, I think at this stage, in fact, it is still very difficult to say who would win the Champions League. Yes, we know that we have three people that are contending: Mo Salah, Vinicius Junior, and Rafinha. But at this stage, I'm just looking at it now as soon as water was talking, and I was thinking to myself, okay, this might even be more difficult than we were imagining, right? Because both Real Madrid and Barcelona are still fighting for the La Liga, and they are still in the Champions League. Except the only way this conversation will be later down is if Real Madrid or Barcelona, either one of them, if we were to win both the Champions League and the league, and then we know, okay, that debate is settled.
Okay, so Mr. Wisdom, who is your favorite to win the Ballon d'Or?
At this stage right now, it's still very much difficult, honestly, for me. If you were to say, okay, Wisdom, obviously, I would tilt towards Vinicius Junior. I would have said Mo Salah, but now we know that Salah is out of the conversation for now. I would have said Mo Salah, but for now, I would stick with Vinicius Junior. But let me also quickly add something that Mo Salah might not win the Ballon d'Or based on how things are currently looking. But one thing is certain, for me personally, Mo Salah is really the African player of the year.
Okay, so now the question that we are going to be asking FIFA is Champions League a criteria to win the Ballon d'Or? But my question to you, Mr. Wisdom, is this. If PSG meets Real Madrid at some point, do you think Mbappe will want to prove a point with that match by going all out and proving to PSG that he was an amazing product while in their team?
I think it's going to be the other way around. It's going to be the other way around. Instead of Mbappe proving to PSG, it is PSG that would come to prove to Mbappe and Real Madrid that we can succeed without you. Because it's looking obvious now. When Walter was talking about it, that now that Mbappe, Neymar, and Lionel Messi left, it's as if PSG has this breath of fresh air and the team is performing super, super well. I think it's going to be the other way around because the players will be more motivated. Like, come on, it's Real Madrid, and then I think in a way I will not really say like a beef because obviously Mbappe didn't leave PSG on a very good note. You understand? So it's going to be the other way around. Obviously, Mbappe himself would also want to prove a point. He wouldn't mind bagging the hat-trick against PSG to make the headlines and to also remind PSG that you didn't know what you lost. Yeah. But at the same time, I think PSG would be willing to. PSG would want to make it more of a statement. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if the manager that's talking about Luis Enrique assigns like a player on Mbappe to silence him to ensure that he's marked out of the game effectively. So I at the same time, I think it's going to be a two-way thing. Mbappe would want to prove a point.
Okay.
PSG as well would also want to prove a point that we created you.
Yes. Yes. So, Mr. Wisdom, are you a Manchester United fan?
Oh yes, I am.
Because we are heading over to the Europa. So I want to find out, what is your take on yesterday's match with Manchester United winning it?
Oh, that game was absolutely brilliant. It was a fantastic game. I think I have to say that over the two legs, United were the better team over the two legs. Apart from the penalties, just to say that I don't think they have had any goal. Or I don't know if you get what I'm saying.
Yes.
Because the first one, obviously, they had a penalty to make the game 1-1. The second leg started, and in the first few minutes of the game, it was another penalty to ensure it was 1-0. Apart from the penalty, we also said that didn't create any meaningful chance. In fact, they didn't even threaten Andre Onana. Right, it was just a penalty. But Manchester United were absolutely brilliant over the two legs. You look at how the switch of play, the long balls. We can see how Ruben Amorim wants his side to play. Yesterday, watching Manchester United, it felt like a glimpse of what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was doing when he was at Man United, playing the long ball, switching play from right to left. It was a very good game.
And it was a home turf.
Yes. And what this does for United is, Ruben Amorim, and in fact, Omar Barreda, the CEO has come out and said, our aim is to win the Europa League so that we can qualify for the Champions League. So I would not be surprised to see Manchester United, going all the way to the final, because right now, obviously, United have nothing to lose this season. They have nothing to lose. They are out of almost everything, and then the league, obviously, they are not going to qualify for Europe with the way things are. So this is their only focus, Europa League. So I wouldn't be surprised if United can go all the way to win it, because that is their only focus right now.
Okay, thank you. So, Mr. Walter, I want to understand, what is your take on the penalties that were given to Manchester United against Real Sociedad yesterday? Because some fans are saying that everything, like it was all penalties. So, is it that they didn't create chances outside of having penalties, or some fans are saying that FIFA just gave it to Manchester United? So, Mr. Walter, I want to understand, what do you think about it?
Like I said earlier, fans are incidental in their judgment. Fans are biased in their judgment, so they take fans to the emotional and they show emotions. So, but the truth of the matter is, the rest does their job. The rest does what they have to do. What do I think of the penalty?
Yes.
Don't forget, there were 4 penalties in the course of the past, home and away. Like 4 penalties were given. This is how we got at 2 penalties, Manchester United at 2 penalties. Okay, now let's go back to the question. The first penalty for Manchester United was absolutely that was penalty. The second one, is it a penalty? Now, it's left for the rest to do with discussion. Because this is more due to a penalty. The VAR would have been better. So it's that kind of situation whereby if the referee gives it, the VAR does not overrule it. But if the referee doesn't give it, the VAR does give it. It's not a decision that you can just say it is not or it is. Because whenever you ask it about there was contact. So the only argument now is the guy put his 2 hands at the back. Oh, sorry, the ball is not handball. They didn't give penalty for handball. They gave penalty for out of the box. And even if you put your 2 hands on your neck and your eye and the ear in the back, in as much as the men that are able to play the football, the opposite player, they are in danger of giving the penalty. And that's what happened that they say, for me, for the first penalty.
Okay. So, Mr. Walter and Mr. Wisdom, it's always nice having you both on P&B Sports Show. So, thank you so much for coming on our show, and we hope to see you people next time. We want to have you on our show. Once the Champions League is over, we want to have you people's analysis on this show. So, thank you both so much for coming on the show. Thank you. So, you've heard it all about the Champions League, from Liverpool's exit to the League, talking about Manchester United and Real Sociedad and the win at Old Trafford. So thank you so much. That will be all for P&B Sports Show. I am Aaron Cotton. Have a lovely day.